It's Anastasia Senpai, and today we're going to be reacting to The Fall of Pizza Hut Dine-In by Sunny V2. So, I've always more eaten non-commercial pizza versus a bunch of pizza from different chains. And honestly, the chain I used to eat the most from, I think, was a mixture of Pizza Hut and Papa John's. I always liked having Pizza Hut personal pan pizzas when I was growing up as a little kid. And then I think in high school and definitely college, I ate a lot of Papa John's pizza. But I also had free Papa John's pizza for a year where I can get as much pizza as I wanted for I don't think it was a year or two. So that also kind of helped me eat Papa John's pizza since it was free. But those were kind of my go-tos. And Pizza Hut was always pretty good, all things considered. I mean, I always again thought mom and pop places were better. But I did like it myself. But I think now I'm looking at the title of this video, it does say dine in. So I think it's gonna be focusing on the fact that there's no more Pizza Hut dine in anymore, and that it's just a takeaway service. That's what I'm thinking. £4 for delivery, miss me with it. I think that's funny. I think £4 for delivery sounds like a good price. Here in LA, if delivery just cost me $4, that'd be a pretty decent delivery, especially depending on what I'm getting. What would you rather the delivery fee be? Free? I'm ready to die on it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I understand delivery having a fee because of the convenience. Delivery person here is paid a full salary by the store. There's no tips here. That's interesting, but I wonder what their full salary is, because what is a full salary for them? Because I mean, if they have it worked into their system to do a delivery fee, there has to be a reason that they're doing the fee to cover something. I mean, free delivery sounds nice and all, but I guess in my mind it makes sense, I guess, to have a fee a little bit. I don't know. Food businesses are difficult, you know. But I don't know. I guess maybe it's just something I'm accustomed to. But I guess yeah, it's just one of those things where I feel it's fair enough. I don't know. Which I don't know. I feel I guess some part of me just feels you can get up and go get the pizza, or I feel when you want food, you can just go get it. You can just go get it yourself and pick it up. So because you're not gonna go get it yourself, I almost feel there should be a fee for that, for the convenience of you not getting it yourself. And I guess in my mind, I feel getting in a vehicle and having to drive somewhere, it's a part of me just feels that deserves an extra fee, I guess. That's why you should be paid a living wage. I mean, very true. I just it's just one of those things where I feel even if I was making $25 an hour, I kind of still feel if I'm getting in a car to deliver something. And again, this could be because I'm so used to America having certain fees and different stuff. We don't have taxes baked into prices like England does. There's always taxes added on top of things. There's always fees added on top of things. And I guess it's I kind of feel it's such a convenience that it's I don't know, there should be a charge for the convenience. Yeah, so pizza, it sounds yeah, pizza is just way more expensive in England. And that's there could be a lot of factors to why your Pizza Hut costs so much more, but yeah, for about 25 to $33, I probably could double what you get from the store, or what you get from the store tea. And yeah, I usually don't spend 30. I usually don't hit 30, or maybe if I hit like I said, if I hit $30 to $36, I probably got a pizza and like some breadsticks and like some soda and like it'd be more than the pizza. It for sure not just be one large pizza. Like one large pizza, $33. Tipping is uniquely American from what I've heard because there are still states where delivery drivers can make $2.99 per hour without tips. Oh yeah, I mean in America, literally they drop the prices and whatnot. And Pizza Hut, at least because that's where we started the conversation, is a American company. So like I feel like that probably rolls over a little bit. But then I feel like I don't know, it's like not even necessarily just about the tip. I guess like for me, a part of me just kind of feels like there should be a fee. I don't know. Like I guess I just feel like because of I feel like because of the convenience and the extra step a person is doing, I feel like there should be like the convenience fee, I guess. Like a part of me just feels like that just makes sense, I guess. And I don't know if that's just cuz like, I'm not only British but I'm American because like I know tipping is uniquely American. And it's not necessarily like I'm just thinking tipping, but I am. But I just think of like I guess the principle of convenience and doing like the extra labor. Like I feel like there should be an added thing on top of that. I don't know. I don't know. Out of interest, how much is a large Domino's pizza where you live? I don't know. And I wish this thing was just giving me an answer. It's being a butt. Okay, that was a lot of work. $8.99. Is there no minimum wage in America? Of course there is. But minimum wage in America differs from state to state. Minimum wage where I live is $16 and it's going to be $25 soon. Minimum wage in Miami and Florida is $8. Minimum wage in Louisiana or Georgia is like $7. So it differs from state to state. But like yeah, there's minimum wage. There's not a universal like all of the country has the same minimum wage. $8.99, yeah. One large pizza, no additional toppings and delivery included is $33. Yeah, that's more expensive than pizza here. I could get two medium pizzas with two toppings and a drink when I was looking at it for I think $8 each. So I could get two pizzas, they're both medium, and a drink for $16. So even for your price, I could have two pizzas. All right, Pizza Hut franchise unsuccessful. Let's hear about this Pizza Hut.
Bankruptcies, and almost no growth in revenue for the last 10 years. This is the sad reality for Pizza Hut, who have had so many store closures that there's now a subreddit dedicated to finding former Pizza Hut restaurants. To understand why Pizza Hut has lost almost half of
it is, always funny to me because you can always tell when a building used to be a Pizza Hut. Like, no matter what they make this building into, everybody will know that was a Pizza Hut once. Like, you will always know that was a Pizza Hut. But the sign says two pizzas, two sides, $28. And I'm just like, dang. And it's like 33 for tea.
Pizza Hut, who have had so many store closures that there's now a subreddit dedicated to finding former Pizza Hut restaurants.
That's so funny. Baba's, whatever this is this a church? Oh my gosh, I can't worship in a Pizza Hut. But that's so funny. Except for this one, I would be able to tell these are Pizza Huts. I mean, like, it's kind of obvious when a place was a Pizza Hut, you know what I mean?
To understand why Pizza Hut has lost almost half of its market share over the last 20 years, we have to begin by asking the following question. Why was Pizza Hut so unique and successful in the first place? Back in the 1990s, Pizza Hut had a reputation for having some of the craziest yet most unique and successful pizza designs, which were not only delicious, but also gave the public a reason to talk about the business. For example, in 1993, Pizza Hut released the Bigfoot, a massive 2 feet long by 1 foot wide square pizza creation, with the Bigfoot accounting for 18% of total sales. There was also the cheeseburger crust pizza, the hot dog crust pizza, and the cornflakes crust pizza. However, none of these were as successful as—
You know what's crazy? I do not know all of these pizzas because I was like, wait, hold on. First of all, the Bigfoot. I've never heard of the Bigfoot. 2 feet long by 1 foot wide. That is a long pizza. Have you guys ever heard of the Bigfoot? I've never heard of the Bigfoot.
There was also the cheese.
This though, I've never heard of this. This looks delicious. I gotta be honest. I've never seen this. I like this. You remember the Bigfoot? But I like this one. I like the shape of it. I like that it looks like a flower, and then the cheeseburger. I wish they still had this. I like that one.
Cheeseburger crust pizza, the hot dog crust pizza.
See, this one I know. I know of the hot dog crust pizza. I know that one.
And the cornflakes crust pizza.
I have never seen a cornflakes crust pizza from Pizza Hut. That, I missed the time they did that. There's no way they still do that. I had no idea. I've never heard of them doing a cornflakes pizza.
However, none of these were as successful as the now famous stuffed crust pizza, which achieved sales of—
of course, none of it is the stuff. That is like you get the shape of the pizza and you get a little cheese inside. The other ones, like the burger one, was like a completely different shape and everything. Like this, that's a regular pizza, but then it has cheese inside. Like, yeah, I'm sure like it crushed it. I crushed it and helped boost Pizza Hut's stock by 50%. That's a huge build. What? You remember the cornflake pizza too? Wow. The hot dog crust doesn't sound good. Yeah, I don't think I would even like the hot dogs by themselves, let alone like as the crust for pizza. I don't know. If it was like pepperoni sausage crust, that would sound good to me. I mean, that's kind of what the hamburger one was, you know?
1 billion in the first year, boosting Pizza Hut's stock price by roughly 50%. Of course, this strategy led to the occasional flop, such as their controversial lasagna pizza, which was described in a review as the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life genuinely. But for the most part, these experiments seemed to help Pizza Hut stand out from the crowd, especially when they were served in their distinct dine-in restaurants. These restaurants added a social element to pizza, turning it into an event as opposed to just another meal. The early memories that we all have of going to dine in at our local Pizza Hut are infinitely more memorable than the hundreds of—
You know what? This looks familiar. Like literally this restaurant layout just flashed memories into my mind because this looks so familiar. I feel like I went to this exact Pizza Hut almost. Like that's how familiar this feels. And like, yeah, it's interesting that they had a buffet thing. They had that you could order pizza, get the drinks. Like a lot of restaurants do have dining things. I mean, even McDonald's will still have dining, stuff or whatnot. So I feel like if nobody wants to sit and eat your food, like unless you're, I don't know, like a corner stall or a food truck or something, I feel like, that's like bad, like for business, like, or like that's going to be bad for your business. I don't remember those, but they look awful. The lasagna pizza. Yeah, I don't remember the lasagna pizza myself. Service costs money. I mean, I don't think they had waiters. I think you had to go up and still order like in the normal way. And then there would be like a window for you to go to like pick up your food. Or they had the buffet option where you don't even have to like have a server because you're serving yourself essentially.
Times we've ordered takeaway from Domino's. During the dine-in days, Pizza Hut had something that physically separated them.
Something you can't get just any place.
from the competition. Nobody could offer an experience quite like Pizza Hut, providing them with unbelievable levels of success, especially in the early days. Pizza Hut had the monopoly on pizza and you paid through the nose for one. At first they had to educate the dining public with little signs saying, pizza is traditionally eaten with the fingers. For the first few years I remember that there was no takeaway, dine-in only. I remember that a family-sized pizza cost around $20. Nowadays that would equate to probably $50 or more for a pizza. People paid it because they were experiencing this delicious food for the first time.
$50 for a pizza? For a family size? Pizzas? What is family size? Large, extra large? Like what is family size? And like you have to tell him how to eat a pizza? Bro.
The Pizza Hut dine-in experience was seemingly profitable in the beginning, but this didn't mean that it was going to be successful forever.
Or just a medium
Some insane
now?
anecdotes claim that a new source destroyed Pizza Hut dine-in completely, or that dine-in was destroyed by their staff choices. However, the main issue seemed to come from other competing pizza brands who were specializing in delivery.
I've never heard of Crust, and I've never heard of Crust, and I've never heard of Pizza Capers. I know Little Caesars, obviously Papa John's, I know who Domino's is, but like, Crust? Pizza Capers? Who are thou?
There's something about pizza that makes it perfect for eating at home. The box acts as a plate, there's no cutlery needed, and the compact design of pizza reduces the potential for mess. Domino's began to take advantage of this at a time when Pizza Hut didn't even offer delivery. In fact, Pizza Hut only began delivering pizzas 27 years after launching their business, doing so
27 years! Oh my god! Pizza Hut's been around forever! It just sounds so much longer when they say that.
Because they saw how successful Domino's was. The convenience of delivery meant that you didn't need to go to a dine-in restaurant if you wanted to eat pizza. And if you did desperately want all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut, you could literally just go to any all-you-can-eat restaurant offering pizza and eat your 8 slices along with 100 other food options. Pizza was no longer an exclusive thing in the same way that it was in the early days of Pizza Hut. This lack of exclusivity in combination with delivery also shifted people's perceptions of how prestigious pizza was. As mentioned earlier, Pizza Hut adopted the dine-in model when pizza was an exclusive new dish from Italy. However, Domino's and delivery in general turned pizza into just another fast food. Pizza Hut became no fancier than McDonald's or KFC, so why would you take your family to eat there as a special occasion? Then there was Pizza Hut's increased pricing and decreased quality. Overnight, the price went up from $6.49 to $8.49. The high school students, previously a common sight, disappeared. With fewer people, the quality suffered. Pizza Hut was always more expensive than the alternatives, affordable only when getting second, third, fourth pizzas at a reduced price. But it got more expensive. The pizza remained very greasy and people started eating low carb. There are better alternatives, especially for that money.
I'm not gonna lie, the pizza did start to get a little greasy. I remember I noticed that the last time I had Pizza Hut after having it, like the way it was always perfect, I was like, this doesn't taste exactly right.
Pizza Hut CFO David Gibbs made the claim that having dine-in restaurants is now a negative for the business, stating the challenge Pizza Hut faces is that it has a large dine-in business. Dine-in is waning in relevance. In other words, Pizza Hut needs to focus less on dine-in and more on what people want, which is to take their pizza with them. This was also highlighted by Artie Stars, the president of Pizza Hut USA, who stated the biggest problem that Pizza Hut is facing is perception, explaining that many of its customers don't associate Pizza Hut with delivery. Stars said the facade of its locations reinforces this idea, and it isn't helping to lure in diners. When you drive by the location, it doesn't scream "we deliver." To promote delivery to its customers, Pizza Hut delivered pizza to space, the Oscars, and the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, but it still seems as though they aren't competitive.
Pizza Hut sent pizzas to space? Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Mount Kilimanjaro.
And on the topic of Pizza Hut in comparison to its competition, we should also highlight that Pizza Hut is extremely uncompetitive from a health perspective. Their standard pepperoni pizza contains a whopping 8,153 kilojoules, equal to almost 2,000 calories, which is close to the entire recommended daily adult calorie intake, and has almost twice as many calories as Domino's pepperoni pizza, which has 4,453 kilojoules, meals or a little over 1,000 calories. But it's not fair to make this point unless we see the size and quality of each pizza, so we ordered a pepperoni from Domino's before doing the same with the nearby Pizza Hut in order to compare the two different pizzas. As mentioned, the Domino's pepperoni came in at 1,064 calories, while the Pizza Hut pepperoni came in at 1,948 calories. And with the Pizza Hut pepperoni costing double the price of the Domino's pepperoni, you might
look at that. Look at how much it costs. Crazy in sales.
might expect that the Pizza Hut pizza would be double the size. However, as you can tell from the opening, this isn't the case whatsoever. The Domino's pizza had a surface area of 510 square centimeters, while the Pizza Hut pizza had a surface area only 12% larger at 572 square centimeters. Additionally, the Pizza Hut pepperoni weighed in at 1.46 pounds, making it only 7% heavier than the Domino's pizza at 1.36 pounds. Now, to Pizza Hut's credit, their pizza definitely presented and subjectively even tasted better than Domino's. However, with the Pizza Hut pepperoni being double the price and double the calories with no real distinct advantage, it becomes obvious as to why Pizza Hut has become uncompetitive. When looking at Pizza Hut's menu, you'll also notice that the days of Pizza Hut trying wacky, unconventional designs are certainly long gone. The only crazy product that they have on their website is a range of pizzas which use a chicken schnitzel as the base, but apart from that, almost everything else on the menu feels like something you could get from Domino's at a cheaper price. Nowadays, there's so many restaurants, not just dedicated pizzerias, that offer pizza on their menu that you can simply get better quality food at discounted low prices at other places. It's not even worth using Pizza Hut for pizza anymore. You'll get better results elsewhere. Now, to Pizza Hut's credit, they did try to overhaul the menu back in 2014.
Ooh. Look how it looks. It's so cute.
When they introduced their biggest brand evolution ever called Flavor of Now, which introduced countless different new fancier menu items and was described as the biggest change the Pizza Hut and the pizza category has ever seen. However, their new upscale approach had minimal impact on Pizza Hut's revenue in the same year that they implemented Flavor of Now, which becomes even worse if you consider that during the same time period, Domino's sales grew from 10 billion to 15.8 billion. And if we instead look at older data, we can see that the average sales per store has barely changed since 2006, which is about the point where the dine-in model died. While a consistent 12 billion per year over the last 10 years still seems like a pretty awesome scenario, the growth experienced by competing pizza brands has led Pizza Hut's market share to decrease from 25% in 1995 to 14.3% in 2016. 2016 also marked the year where Pizza Hut lost their 45-year-long title of the world's largest pizza brand to Domino's. However, their stagnant
Dang, Domino said, I'm coming for you. That's also like deer poop AI. I think not.
revenue has caused significantly worse problems than simply losing some arbitrary title. For example, in August 2019, Pizza Hut announced that they plan on shutting down over 500 underperforming stores in the US, and exactly 1 year after that, in August 2020, Pizza Hut's largest franchisor, MPC, announced that they were bankrupt, having roughly $1 billion in debt, forcing them to close 300 of their Pizza Hut franchises and put their remaining 927 stores up for sale, representing 1/5 of every Pizza Hut restaurant in America. 1 month after this, Pizza Hut announced that they'd be closing more than 10% of its stores in the UK, with this taking place in the very same year.
Oh, there you go. There you go. They mentioned UK. All the places that they
stores in the UK, with this taking place in the very same year that Domino's and Papa John's had net gains of 17.6% and 15.9% respectively. In the process, Pizza Hut was undergoing a logo change, although not to something fresh representing a bright future, but rather to the same logo used during the Pizza Hut glory days of 1974 to 1999. Pizza Hut's chief brand officer Marianne Radley stated, "Embracing our iconic Pizza Hut logo is recognition of a time period where Pizza Hut unequivocally reigns supreme, because that's where the future is headed. However, at the same time, it feels as though they're desperate to remind the world that Pizza Hut still exists, and this doesn't sound like the kind of play made by a company who's going to be reigning supreme anytime in the near future." Although not to something fresh representing a bright future.
That's interesting to see their original logo look like this and look like this and then look like this, and then they finally got to here. Which I kind of recall this one, and then like, yeah, this one I super recall. These look almost the same. I see the hat's a little different, but I don't know if I've ever noticed that. I think I like this hat more. And then they just got rid of the outline, and now it's a circle. And then This.
Future, but rather to the same logo used during the Pizza Hut glory days of 1974 to 1999. Pizza Hut's chief brand officer Marianne Radley stated, "Embracing our iconic Pizza Hut logo is recognition of a time period where Pizza Hut unequivocally reigns supreme because that's where the future is headed. However, at the same time, it feels as though they're desperate to remind the world that Pizza Hut still exists."
Yeah. I think I was born in the first hat era. Isn't that a funny way? Imagine like that's how you differentiate your friends and different stuff. Which Pizza Hut era were you born? You know, you're just like forget zodiac signs. Which Pizza Hut are you? Which Pizza Hut are you? But yeah, it's interesting to see the decline on that. And like now that I think about it, there is nowhere to dine in. I just feel like Pizza Huts are like, I've seen like fewer, and one by me just closed down. So it's very fascinating that it just closed down, and then kind of like came across this. It's kind of perfect. I don't know which hat I like the best. I kind of like the 1999 hat. Like it's simple, sweet, to the point, bam. But I guess like if we're going for like cuteness, it's a tie between the 2010, 2014, because they're like basically the same thing, except for the eye is green instead of black, and the hat looks slightly different, but maybe it's not. I think the hat is about the same. Yeah. I was like, is it? They just took away the slash, the underscore. WVid. I like the video. Good job. Good job, Sunny V2. I know you're not listening to me, but I think you did a great job.